Hello, friends. Here we will see the notes of that long silence. That long silence has picked up the theme of women's subjugation, which the novel takes ahead the issues of female subjugation, which the earlier novel Roots and Shadows deals with. Moreover, here in the novel, the Winter wants to convey that this is not only the patriarchal system wholly, which is solo responsible for the worsening condition of women, but even women share the responsibility. If women allow men to subjugate, then they are doing it. Here poets through the novel he want to say that woman is the main responsible for the worst condition of her in our nation. Women suffer everything without protesting, which has caused their subjugation. That long silence continues with the issue of women's subjugation arising from the marriage in an extending way, due to its stylistic and thematic concerns. That long silence won the most prestigious Sahitya Academy Award for Shashi Deshapande in 1989. Shashi Deshapande has vigorously tried to point the humiliating and stifling environment where women feel themselves fettered. She has protested against the several types of exploitations of women. In the novel, silence is a patriarchal symbol. In the present novel, silence has been used as a metaphor. Silence is a patriarchal symbol. A girl is socialized to be silent as being equivalent and loud are not the traits that society deems fit for them. Consequently, they keep on being silent and bear everything with this weapon. But gradually, this very silence eats away the very vital of their existence. Jaya is a writer and she makes it quite clear in the beginning of the novel that she is writing a story. But it is not the story of someone else, but rather it is her own story where she herself is a heroine and her husband the hero. But writing her story where her heroine is not an easy task. Generally, a writer hides many of the factors which perhaps are not far the world to be known. So, presenting an objective amount of one's personality is always a converted process. She says, self revelation is a cruel process. The real picture, the real you, never emerge. Looking for its bewildering as trying to know how you really look. 10 different faces show you 10 different faces. Despite of it, she resolves to write the factual account of their story by maintaining right absence, right distance. That long silence is about a couple, Jaya and Mohan. Jaya finds her routine life so monotonous that she craves for a catastrophe, something that would provide her a relief from the humdrum of boring life, something that would solve them out of their slumber and take to the path of excitement. Traditional man Mohan. Mohan wants from Jaya complete obedience and unquestioning care. He cannot like the idea of Jaya avoiding him and his children. Mohan is a traditional man who has seen his father being quite dominating and abusing his mother time and again. He is an ordinary man who, like all men, attends his father's death ceremonies and also bears the expenditure. It is quite normal then that he would, like the other Indian, demand complete solidarity of his life. Consequently, Jaya too provides him love and affection. Like a traditional lady, she too picks up the threads of householding and tries to connect them and strives hard to be an ideal wife as per the norms of the society. But the same has been tiring for her. Woman in Shashi Deshpande's novel, initially an unconventional one. She willingly submit herself to the traditional, perhaps realizing the wisdom of the traditional way at this tiring moment that of the traditional philosophical society. Ultimately, she is an appendage to man or family. Though economically independent, she is emotionally dependent on her husband. In Shashi Deshapande's novels, the protagonist growth towards an honest acknowledgement of responsibility for her own repressed state is shown in her earlier novel as well as her later novels. The protagonist's quest for identity gets largely accumulated due to their frustrating experiences in the Indian patriarchal society. Feminist approach. In her novels, the host of male characters, husband, lovers, fathers, and other relations display different aspects of patriarchy and oppression. While the majority of the husbands are patriarchal in their approach, the older men, particularly the fathers, are broad minded. Surprisingly, the male friends are feminist in their approach and sympathize with the protagonist a lot. Deshpande's male characters only serve to enable the protagonist lot. Inner psychological world. Shashi Deshpande's exploration of female subjugation in patriarchal family structures takes on a larger dimensions than the inner psychological world. In her novels, she creates, in fact, a mosaic of marriage. Women came to go, and aunts, cousins, mothers, mother in laws, friends, acquaintances, each providing a different slant on marriage, a dozen subter to the main text of the protagonist whose marriage is collapsing. Shashi Deshpande is a writer who can focus intensively and elaborately on a network of male repression and is concerned with making statement regarding the politics of male power and its effect on women. The novel opens with Jaya and her husband Mohan moving back into the older Dada flat in Mumbai from their cozy and palatial house. Her husband is involved in a financial malpractice and an enquiry against him. In setup, Mohan is consoled to find that the children Rahul and Rati are away on the long tour with their family, friends, and expects Jaya to go into hiding with him. Jaya is a middle class housewife. She had high potential of becoming a good writer, though that dream came crashing with Mohan's interruption. But nevertheless, she becomes a successful columnist in a women magazine. She was before marriage a confident and self assertive girl who was named Jaya as her father's notion. And encouragement always worked in her favor, and she became very self independent. Her father wanted to see her going to Oxford and winning huge prizes for the literary genius that she had. But as luck would have it, she became a nervous, nagging lady pettifogging about every minute detail of her household regarding the servants and the children's school. They gradually accepted her own fate as she got instilled with false notion of security. She kept believing that the family tree is what she must nourish has without her children and husband. She has no identity of her own as she believed as she lived. She let go any emotion, any desire, any wish for of her which posed even a slight threat to her family. Conclusion. That long silence is a story about Jaya, an educated middle class woman living with her husband and kids Rahul and Rati. Jaya is an ideal example of typical middle class Indian woman who is confined between her realization and restrictions. Jaya loses her identity and learns to be silent after marriage. This is what Jaya tries to attain in this novel, but every time she finds herself trapped in order to save her married life from breaking. Friends, It is a nose of that long silence written by Shashi Deshapande. If you like my work, don't forget to hit the like button. Also comment in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.